Cheat on me and have your new loudmouth husband validate your actions because I was too busy mourning for my dead brother? Let's see how your new husband likes it when the shoe's on the other foot. And let me know how losing literally everything goes while I get full custody of the dog and children. Huh, I like how he didn't forget about the dog. Welcome back to Reddit Chronicles. If you're new here, consider subscribing to help me feed my channel and grow my cat. And if you liked the video, I kindly ask you to give it a thumbs up to help me out. Let's get started. English is not my first language, but the audacity of this woman and her loudmouth new husband makes for a good read. My uncle's revenge and how he stripped his wife of everything from status, children, family dog, and money. Here it goes. So my uncle and his wife had a very good relationship. They did everything together. She was a good mother, but was dependent on my uncle for money. He earned while she stayed at home effing another man and looking after the kids, 6 and 12. How nice, right? A really lovely and caring wife. For more context, my other uncle had died, so of course my uncle was mourning for a few months. He wanted love and to be cuddled, and not to have sex. Well, his wife didn't care. She would give him a kiss and a quick hug and then carry on doing whatever the F she was doing, such as cooking and cleaning. We would ask him how it is that she seemed so distant, and his reply was that everyone deals with grief a certain way. Turns out her grieving process included cheating with another man, a family friend of all things. My uncle's brother had died, and during this time, they had many friends visit them at their house, especially from a family friend they had known forever, who would visit with his child so that the children could play while the grown-ups talked to each other. My uncle didn't think anything of it, or the frequency of which this man would visit, especially when it was during the day. He thought it was a drop-off his son kind of thing, so the children could play. That was until his little boy, my cousin, drew a picture he wanted to show to Daddy, my uncle. My little cousin said it was a secret, and that Mommy said family friend and her were playing a new game that only they could play. That already made my uncle suspicious, but never did he think his wife would ever cheat on him, especially since he was still in mourning. In fact, we were all shocked. This woman is so prim and proper to a T, with a clean house, good mannerisms, fine clothes, and upturned nose. His son proceeds to take out a crumpled piece of paper, which he had hidden from under his bed, and shows it to my uncle, saying he went to fetch it from the bin after his mommy threw it away. It was a drawing. He explained that Mommy told him not to draw her and the family friend again, cause it's a private game that nobody can know about. However, my uncle's son, feeling hurt, went to retrieve his drawing and thought perhaps Daddy might like to see it and give him applause, cause he thinks he can draw so nicely and Daddy would like to see. It turns out after some exploration that it was a drawing of family friend sticking his pee-pee next to Mommy's wee-wee. My uncle took pictures of the drawing while shitting himself and recorded everything his son said about what he drew. He asked things like when and where Mommy was playing these games. Turns out she did it when she thought the kids were busy during the day outside playing, and that she basically had sex around the whole house while locking the doors and leaving the kids without supervision for a few minutes. He also found out that the older kids made their own game of observing the adults having sex and would listen or watch the adults doing their thing through doors and curtains from outside, while the young son, who drew the picture, would make noises to pretend to be busy playing outside so as to not alert the adults. The children would essentially take turns to see what family friend, my uncle's wife, were doing out of curiosity. This coming from the most self-important, prim and proper woman you'd ever meet. Do you know what her response was to my uncle when he asked her why, after finding out they were together in his house with the children around that he paid for, as her lazy ass wanted to stay home? She said, and I kid you not, "You wouldn't give me what I needed, sex, and kept denying me, so I went to look for it somewhere else." And something along the lines of, "I had a right to do it since you weren't giving me what I needed, or caring about me, loving me, etc." Can you believe it? Not only did the kids see that nonsense, not only did she neglect them for selfish reasons and lock them outside for a few minutes, not only did she cheat as he was mourning for his brother, she had the sheer audacity to claim it was because of him, and she, as a wife, has sexual and fulfillment needs, that needing to feel wanted and loved was important for a woman like her. Move on a few months. They get divorced. They share custody of the dog/children, while she gets married to the guy she cheated on him with. On top of that, the guy who was a family friend also had the audacity to speak up and say that what she did was right, and that my uncle should have taken care of her, etc. Imagine thinking you know and had a say in someone else's marriage and help break it up. That it's fine to do. Do you know what my uncle did to his wife? He ruined her for cheating and leaving him to marry someone else, the family friend, as well as made his life hell. He actually messed up both their lives and got full custody of his children. And yes, it was amazingly rewarding, even for us. She left my uncle for someone else. He, being who he was, tried letting it go. He tried to forgive her, went to church, prayed for her to have a good life, never spoke bad about her, and so on. Then one day, she started talking to him about having the kids stay over at her house. This continued to her texting messages about how she missed him. He finally caught a wake-up and caught on to what she wanted. She wanted to be with him, perhaps cheat with him on her new husband, and kept sending him messages about how she missed him. Thus he used her feelings and urges to manipulate her into sending tons of backed up sexts and videos to him by leading her on, which he finally then sent to her new husband. This was while they were trying for a baby with each other. But this stay-at-home wife would now learn her lesson. In fact, they both would. It taught them both a lesson. 1. She will always cheat. 2. The family friend who defended her cheating and married her would learn what it's like to be in my uncle's position since he liked to talk so much. 3. She did it to her husband and now does it to him, the new husband, Karma. Cause people informed me that I spelled it as Kalma, thanks for the notes and various entertaining arguments regarding my spelling. Serves you right for helping her cheat and defending her. Let's see what you say now on the other side of the story. 4. Don't be a lazy stay-at-home mom without a job, etc. to fall back on. Then, when the new husband left my aunt, she couldn't take care of the children, and the laws in my country are funny, and she carelessly signed a prenuptial. She was left out on the street, not being able to care for her children. She had no experience and no fine clothing or jewelry anymore to act like a proper prom and proper bitch as if she had class cause she had someone else's money. So he ended up with full custody of the dog and his children. Win-win for everyone, except for the cheating and the loudmouth husband. Not so nice when the shoe's on the other foot, friend. P.S. She never got that class wasn't what you had, but how you behaved. She thought class was having an iPhone, dressing well, and having a tidy house while thinking lower of working people, when she didn't work for her money. I know poor people who basically have nothing, who have more class than she ever will, as they know how to behave, treat, and help others. Edit. My uncle is rich smart enough to use already rich family money to make him richer. The family friend was just as rich, so she clearly has a type. It's called wealthy. My uncle was clever before getting married, same to this guy. When she got married to this guy after divorcing him, she lost the money she was entitled to every month, as well as the monthly childcare money when she lost her children. What money she was able to get from my uncle, she spent quickly. I'm talking 5-star hotels and $1,000 cruises and clothes with her new husband. Her honeymoon and wedding alone cost her almost $1 million for her half of the event, which lasted like 2 months, including places around Dubai, shopping trips, and the Mediterranean. Not to mention, being a good mommy, she spoiled her kids crazy, so they would love her and knew dad as well, not that he tried much for her children. She didn't take care of what money she was spending, or what the prenup entailed, thinking the new husband would treat her fairly like my uncle. She was literally left on the street after being kicked out. She begged and pleaded for shelter, as well as to see her children. I mean, she was a decent mother besides the children seeing you have sex, but eventually that stopped when she disappeared to who knows where. Wow, that's some story. What do you guys think? Do you think the uncle was justified, or do you think he went too far? My wife left me, lied about me. I got revenge. Initially posted to r/confession, but someone said it fits here. My wife decided to take a week-long break about a month and a half ago. She said it had nothing to do with me. She just needed some time on her own. I let her go, and encouraged her even. I only wanted what was best for her. The very next day, she started posting on social media, saying a bunch of things like, "I loved the wrong person," and "You deserve someone that supports you," etc. Standing on the outside, it's easy to assume I did something wrong here, but honestly, I'm a romantic pussy. I gave 110% into making sure the love of my life had everything. Here's the revenge bit. She asked for a divorce and has been making baseless lies about me to everyone I know over the last month and a half. Well, 2 weeks ago, she got laid off and has been collecting unemployment. I just finished filing a form to report her for fraud, since she's working 2 jobs under the table that pay more than her previous job and collecting unemployment on top of it. I also made sure to get her to text me details about said jobs and screen cap them. Legally, I know I'm in the right, but it's still a shitty, vindictive thing to do. But honestly, I feel so good for screwing her over, knowing she won't be able to afford the house that she kicked me out of anymore. If you want more where that came from, simply click on one of these boxes right here. And if you liked the video, I assume you did since you're still here, share it with your friends to see what they think. And of course, if you haven't already, click the kitty to subscribe and you'll never miss another video. I'll see you in the next episode of Reddit Chronicles.